Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for that opening. I've never had a opening act before at a Dreamforce session, so we're super excited to have you here today. We're thrilled that there's so many people in the audience. We've got some seats up front if anyone wants to sit down. And of course, the topic of today is Einstein for Flow for admins. Before we get started, I'm sure it is still very early at Dreamforce, so you haven't seen this slide too often, so please make all your investment and purchase decisions based on what's available on the product today, and not based on some of the things we're going to talk about today, which I hope you find very, very interesting. And of course, no session here at Dreamforce is complete without a huge thank you to our customers, to our partners, to our employees. It's great collaborating with customers and partners, and we look forward to working with you more in the future. My name is Cesar Castro. I'm one of the product managers working on Einstein for Flow. Been with Salesforce now for almost 9 years, based out of Austin, Texas. Anyone from Austin in the audience? All right, good town. I will be joined later by Vera Surdykova and then Ajay Ravi. Together we form the core team of product owners for Einstein for Flow, and we've got lots of cool things that we want to talk to you about today. So what are we going to cover? The first is we're going to talk briefly about why Einstein for Flow. What are some of the use cases that we're interested in supporting as we get started in Einstein for Flow? What is it? I'm going to walk you through a very short product overview. We actually have a live booth over here, live demo station. I encourage all of you to check it out over the next few days where you will actually see it live in action. Then Vera is going to come up and talk about the work that she's doing in our large language model as part of our AI research team. And then Ajay will take us to the end where he will discuss more about what's coming down the roadmap, how are we planning to evolve Einstein for Flow. So why Einstein for Flow? What was the main sort of motivation? We really see Einstein for Flow, and this is really important, I want to emphasize this. Number one, it's an assistant. Einstein for Flow is not necessarily something that we think will replace individuals, will replace people. It's really meant to help you build flows. So with that, who in the audience consider themselves experienced flow builders? So that's at least about a third. How many of you are new or learning or are interested in learning flow? So that's actually a larger number of the audience. Great. So Einstein for Flow is for both of you. If you're new to Flow, if you're interested in using Flow, we think that Einstein for Flow can help you adopt Flow, help you learn about it, help you get started. If you're an experienced admin, you can also use Einstein for Flow to get you started, in the sense that it's not going to be able to build complex flows right out of the gate, but it kind of provides that scaffolding that allows you to start a flow and then continue building it there. So it really serves, in our opinion, both of these types of personas. And really the core message and the core value prop is you can do things quicker. You can see and appreciate the value of Flow much, much faster. Now, what is Einstein for Flow? I'm going to spend a minute talking about some of the near-term roadmaps, some of the things that we're doing in the next release or two, and I'll leave the rest for Ajay, who will kind of go into more detail about what are some of the cool things that are coming. So where are we today in Einstein for Flow? I don't think I mentioned in my introduction, but my area of responsibility is training data. So my role is to go out and help build flows that we use for training for our large language model, which Vera is going to talk about. Today, the scope of Einstein for Flow, as you can imagine, this is sort of a sequential evolution. Today, the scope of Einstein for Flow is around standard objects and standard fields, and then we plan to continue to involve Einstein for Flow to address the capability to handle custom objects and custom fields, because we know the vast majority of our customers are using custom objects and custom fields. But we had to start where we had to start. Now, coming up in the winter, we do have a closed pilot. We have a large group of customers who will be working with us in a closed pilot with Einstein for Flow. If any of you are interested in signing your company up, it is closed, but come talk to us. We'll take your information, and maybe there's ways we can add you to the pilot program going forward. Now let's do a quick walkthrough of Einstein for Flow. I want to give you a very quick overview before I hand it over to Vera. All of us as admins, we're familiar with the setup homepage. Einstein for Flow works just as Flow does today. When you want to create a flow, you can either go over to the quick find, type in Flow, or to the drop down here in the upper right and select Flow. When you do that, you'll get to see our lovely Flow modal, affectionately known as anyone know what it's called, the nickname for this? The Floatal, the Flow modal. And you'll see something new here on the left-hand side. This is the interface for Einstein for Flow. This is where you will type in your natural language prompt and ask it to create a flow for you. What I'm going to show you is available, and you can run this exact demo live in our demo station. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a flow that basically says, create a screen flow that collects case subject, case description, provides a pick list to set status, and then create a case record. Pretty, straightforward, down the middle type of use case. I didn't mention this earlier, but Einstein for Flow, really, in addition to standard objects and standard fields, currently we are focused on simple flows, record trigger flows, screen flows, and again, expect that to evolve over time. So we type in the prompt, we hit enter, Einstein thinks about it, and then voila, it cranks out a flow just as the natural language prompt asked it to do. Two things I want to call out immediately, and this is true of all Einstein products at Salesforce. Across the top, you may not be able to read that, but it says, this flow was created by generative AI. So all of our products are going to have call-outs that say, this was created by generative AI. Secondly, there will be some type of feedback component. More to come on that. I'll talk a little bit more about that before I wrap up. But we will have feedback. We need feedback. That's absolutely crucial for the work that Vera is doing to further fine-tune and train our model. So those are two important call-outs. For those of you who are experienced in Flow, that's something you may not have seen before. Now, if we quickly inspect these elements, we can see that the screen flow was configured appropriately. It has a subject, description, and status. And then the create records element was also configured appropriately. You can see it's creating the record in conjunction with the fields that it collected in the screen flow, and it worked. Now, I'll close with the feedback element because again, this is very, very important. Going forward, all of our Einstein products, we're going to ask for feedback from our customers. We're going to ask them to say, hey, did it work? Give us a thumbs up. And if it didn't, let us know. Please explain so that we can take this feedback, take this information, and further train our model. And speaking of model, let me hand it over to Vera, who's going to walk us through the large language model that she works on.
Good morning, Dreamforce. My name is Vera Serdukova, and I'm a director of product here at Salesforce AI Research. Today, I'm truly thrilled to introduce you to the fascinating realm of generative AI and large language models at Salesforce, and discuss how we're leveraging these technologies to supercharge Flow. Now, over the past few months, generative AI has truly become an integral part of pop culture, hasn't it? Okay, some of you are not so sure. Then how about this? Out of curiosity, let's do a quick show of hands. Please raise your hand if you had at least one late night chat with ChatGPT or any similar tool when you should have been sleeping. Now look around yourself, and here we are. Don't worry, folks, your secret is safe with us. But I think needless to say, at this point, most of us are not even surprised to hear about machine learning models so advanced that they create text, code, or images. These are large language models, or LLMs, the next frontier of AI. At Salesforce, we recognize the unmatched potential of LLMs. And with generative AI being a rapidly developing space, we've been helping our customers navigate generative AI and stay at the front of the pack so that they can truly maximize the benefits LLMs can yield to their business. Therefore, we as a company have a three-pronged approach. We are nurturing the ecosystem of the top-tier LLM providers. We also provide access to our customers' proprietary LLMs if they have such. And last but not the least, we've been heavily investing into building our in-house large language models. Now, our commitment with our in-house LLMs, we align with the gold standard trust and ethical AI principles, meaning that the Salesforce tailored solutions are, simply put, transformational. You might know that Salesforce is not new to AI journey. For over a decade, we've been spearheading AI innovation. A testament to our dedication is CodeGen, our in-house large language model. That is, fun fact, is the world's largest open source LLM for code. And guess what? CodeGen is also the very AI powerhouse behind Einstein for Flow. All right, I can see some eyes racing. I am sure you folks are curious to hear more. Guess what? You're in luck. Today is the very first time we're talking publicly about the AI secret sauce behind Einstein for Flow. So as they say, the early bird gets the worm. You folks are going to be rewarded for making it early to this session. Get ready for this very, very special preview and sneak peek behind the scenes. Here is how it works. As Cesar has shown in the demo, you, the user, simply describe your automation requirement in simple words. Then Einstein calls upon CodeGen to interpret your requirement and generate necessary flow data. Now, we recognize that sometimes flows can get intricate. Therefore, we have introduced a concept called a chain of thought. With it, we first decompose flow into manageable steps, then we create them sequentially. And ultimately, we merge all of the elements together to produce coherent flows. With that, we ensure that the flows generative AI produces accurately mirror your business requirements. These steps allow us to create an intermediate flow object. We use deterministic methods to produce flow data, and voila, the flow is ready for you to review, refine, and deploy. Pretty cool, isn't it? That's fine, folks. You can take pictures. Please do so. Salesforce has been truly pushing the boundaries when it comes to technology and AI, so that you get the best tools to be successful. With generative AI and our commitment to trust, the future of CRM is not just automated, it's also more efficient and equitable. And to discuss a bit more about our next steps and what you can expect from Einstein for Flow in the future, I'll pass it back to Cesar.
Vera. Thank you, Vera. We've all heard the term go with the flow, so we're going with the flow. Our good friend Ajay is not here, so I will pick up his part and take us through to the end. So what's next? As I mentioned earlier, there's a couple of key things that we are really interested in focusing on. First is around the capability around custom objects and fields. This will significantly expand the capabilities of Einstein for Flow. We've done a lot of research. We've asked a lot of questions of some of our MVPs and Flownatics around custom object usage, and flows. So we're going to be investing heavily and doing a lot of work around training for flows that will contain custom objects and custom fields. We didn't talk about it a lot, but we are constantly focused as well on improving accuracy, improving relevancy. So we also use those types of metrics as well in order to measure the success of Einstein for Flow. Long term, we are looking at things like an Einstein assistant you can converse with, support for citizen builders, and other things that are really going to drive success for our customers. So this is something that we're going to invest in for the long term and something we're going to do that we think is going to be a huge priority and a huge win for our customers as we continue to evolve. We have lots of other ideas that we're thinking about, and we're going to continue to expand on those ideas. And if you have any comments and if you have any feedback, and here's Ajay, you can mic up if you want and do the last part. Feel free. And so this is going to be very, very important moving forward. Now, a couple of things that we want to talk about. One thing in particular, as Ajay gets his mic, he'll do a quick demo of the upcoming feature. But one other key thing that we're really, really excited about is this conversational interface with Einstein for Flow, where now you'll be able to come in using natural language prompts to evolve and edit flows. Now, those are going to be consisting of two types of flows in general. One would be a flow that you might generate with Einstein and say, okay, you know what, now that screen flow that I mentioned earlier, well, you know what, I want to add a few more fields to that screen element so I can get more information. You'll be able to type that in the future using a prompt. Secondly, what's really going to be important is we want to be able to match the user's ability to evolve and grow. So you'll be able to edit and modify original prompts, and you'll be able to evolve already existing flows using natural language. And then lastly, you'll be able to inspect all changes. You'll be able to review everything that Einstein is suggesting to edit your flows. And in fact, it will actually create new fields for you as you're editing and modifying your flow. So in perfect just-in-time fashion, we have Mr. Ajay here. Welcome, Ajay. We've got a few minutes, Ajay, if you want to quickly walk through the demo.
Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. Morning. Welcome to Dreamforce. I'm Ajay, and I'm a product owner in the Einstein for Marketing team. And I'm the product manager responsible for delivering Einstein for Flow. So let's just quickly walk through the roadmap that Cesar was just talking about. So essentially, first things first, when you first log into your setup screen as an admin, you will be greeted with this new flow modal, or the floodal as we call it. So essentially here, you have the options to either start from scratch, which is the manual way you're used to doing it today, or you can just have Einstein build your flow.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead, click that. And voila, with that, you're now brought to an updated interface where you can go in and in natural language, just type your prompt. Tell Einstein what flow it is that you want Einstein to create for you, and Einstein will do that right away. So this is a prompt that I'm going to be using. Let me click on Create Draft Flow, and you can see that the flow is already ready for us. And along with that, there is the Einstein assistive interface on the right-hand side, where you can talk to Einstein. So essentially, you can go ahead and continue describing what you want to do, or through single clicks, you have the option to either start over if you are not happy, or save it as a draft. The biggest advantage going forward in our roadmap is that you can start from an existing flow. So Einstein will be able to understand any existing flow you have in your org if you would like to edit, modify, or evolve your flows. So let me take this flow, for example, which is essentially an identity verification flow. And I'm just going to tell Einstein, I would like to add a component to verify postal code along with whatever is already there in this flow. And once I hit next, now Einstein starts drafting, and then it tells me, hey, I wasn't able to find postal code, but here's your resource picker. Can you tell me what it is that you're trying to find if it's under a different name? So I go, take a look, I'm like, yeah, zip code. Once I select zip code, now drafting is in progress. And take a look at the flow. You can see that it's automatically updated. Einstein was able to add it in, configure it, add the relevant logic, and it's all ready. So this is where it's easy by default and advanced by choice, because you can either choose to stop it here, or if you want to inspect it element by element, you can go ahead, take a look at each one of these elements, view action to see what Einstein set the values as, and close it, and if you don't like it, you can also remove the change. And in addition to this, if you would like to see the change history, again, just ask Einstein, tell Einstein, hey, I'd like to see the change history for this flow. And once you do that, Einstein will be like, yeah, sure, here's a single click button to view the change log. Essentially, you can view all changes made by humans, AI, and if you'd like, you can also create an audit report of all the changes going forward. So with that, I'd like to say, let's keep the conversation going. Please feel free to join us at our demos. We have live in-product demos happening all around. The MuleSoft Zone, Platform Park, come check us out. You can meet the experts, talk to us, and if you're interested in AI, that's something that you want to learn more about, there are other sessions that we have. Especially, I'd like to call out, there is a AI to automate faster with MuleSoft and Flow session, where we bring together Einstein for Flow, along with MuleSoft Composer and Prompt Studio. Don't miss that. And please do share feedback. Let us know how we did. I know if we asked Einstein, Einstein would give us a 5 on 5. But we'd like to hear from you. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know how we can improve, not just for the session, but for the product itself also. I'd be interested in listening what feedback you have to share with us. If things did not work, if Einstein did not do what you intended to happen, let us know. Feedback is important. Please help us help you. Thank you very much for being an excellent audience.